How's it going, everybody? My name is Nick, and I also go by Golden Guy, and I'm your coach of the Philadelphia Pincers. And we're coming to you with Week 1 of the UPA Draft League. This week we are taking on Coach Fist and his... Okay, I gotta look at this because it's a long one. The Cults of the Super Bash Bros. I mean, look at that logo. There's so much going on. Look at it. Oh, no. Just look at it. There's so much going on there. But anyway, it's his Cult of the Super Bash Bros. And yeah, he's got a fairly scary team. He's got a Golden Guy favorite up there as pick number 2. If that would have fallen to us, we would have grabbed it. I made sure of that. Told Jeremy that for the draft. But he's got a Golden Guy favorite in pick number 2. He's got a great Sand Core. He's got an always threat that can go Trick Room or Agility in Calyrex Ice. The Golden Guy favorite in Dragapult. The Easy Hazard setter with Samurott Hisui form. Sand Abuser Excadrill as his Terra Captain. Open Terra, but he has to let me know what it is beforehand so I can try to play around it. He's got the Sand Setter and Tyranitar. The always threat Zapdos that can be offensive or defensive. Infernape that can swing both ways, special or physical. Pheasantipity that can also swing both ways and has some fun sets associated with it, with that Toxic Chain ability or even Technician depending on what they're expecting. Serena that can stop my priority moves with things like Comfey or I guess Thwackey or Girder. And last but certainly not least is the ever bulky Violite Dunsparce, who has access to things like Glare and Body Slam, Headbutt, things of that nature. Can set up fairly easily. If we let it get out of hand, it can definitely take us out. All of that being said, my opponent has some incredible threats, and the matchup for this week looks ever in their favor, as Ho-Oh has to take on a Week 1 Sand team. Not fun. But I do think, as always, that we have brought the team to be successful in this matchup. The 6 that I anticipate my opponent to bring are down below as usual. It's going to be that Zapdos. I'm anticipating a defensive set, or else Ogerpon runs rampant on the team. Tyranitar is going to be there to set the sand. For the Excadrill, there are 2 Excadrill sets that I have in mind, right? On first glance, it's going to be Sand Abuser, so Sand Rush, maybe Life Orb, or Expert Belt, something along those lines. Terra Grass with Terra Blast so that it can hit like my Rotom without having to go for a Mold Breaker Earthquake, or it can also hit a Terra Water Toxapex that also looks good into walling the Excadrill. Or it could be a Choice Scarf, potentially Mold Breaker Earthquake set, which allows him to just hit Earthquake pretty much on everything outside of Ho-Oh, in which case he can just hit like Rock Slide or something like that. I do expect Calyrex Ice to come. I could see Infernape coming in that spot. Calyrex Ice, it could be a Trick Room setter to just enable itself with the S1 Moxie Boost ability, or it could be an Agility set. Once again, to enable itself and just run away with that S1 boost. I mostly expect the Samurott Hisui to come normal, probably Choice Scarf set if I had to guess, maybe a Focus Sash to set up just spikes, because while I do have decent, I guess, hazard removal in Iron Treads and Girder, those are my only hazard removers, so if he can get spikes up fairly early, then I do struggle a wee bit more in this matchup. And then last but certainly not least, I expect Dragapult to come. It's the fastest mon in the matchup. It helps him deal with things like Darkrai and potentially my Ogerpon or Latios. For the Dragapult set, it could be Boots, it could be Specs. I would probably expect a special set more so than a physical set in this matchup. But yeah, those are the 6 I anticipate my opponent to bring, so let's talk about the team briefly and what we're bringing and why we're bringing it. Matchup, and here we go. First off is Comfey with a Rocky Helmet. This is to work in tandem with my Ogerpon, so we'll talk about it in a little bit. But the Rocky Helmet is just to punish his physical attackers that want to go for things like Poison Jab or Iron Head against me, so the Excadrill or the Tyranitar potentially punish the Samurott for going for things like Sacred Sword and Ceaseless Edge. We have the Triage ability. If we're in against Serena, I don't envision hitting Draining Kiss, or at least I hope I don't have to. I hope I can just U-turn out into something else, potentially my Ho-Oh, to help deal with it. Draining Kiss just hits the Samurott and the Dragapult fairly hard, as well as the Tyranitar. Leech Seed is to be annoying, and Synthesis is to help enable that annoyingness. Next up, we have Darkrai rocking the black glasses for Dark Pulse and Sucker Punch and boosted moves. Focus Blast is solely there so that I can hit the Tyranitar super effectively and hopefully hit it. And Psychic is there for an Infernape that may come, and I just want to have something that I can hit it with. Ho-Oh is obviously going to be heavy duty boots this week. My opponent has great stealth rockers in, I think, Excadrill, Tyranitar, Dunsparce, I believe, and Infernape, I believe, also gets Stealth Rock. So we wanted to make sure that we had the boots on Ho-Oh so that we're not taking half health as we come in. Obviously, things on the team do get knockoff, so we do have to be wary of that. We are running Sacred Fire and Earthquake because they hit everything on the team at least neutrally. Weather Ball is there just in case we happen to be in against Zapdos while the sand is up. Again, his Zapdos can perfectly or easily enough run Weather Ball as well, but it's our best way of dealing with it. And then we have Recover there for longevity. Iron Treads is going to be our rapid spinner this week. We have an Iron Defense Body Press set so that we can deal with everything outside of Dragapult fairly easily, and then we have Earthquake. And you're looking at that set and you're like, you can't really touch Zapdos. Yeah, you're right, they can't. But Zapdos also can't touch us that well unless it brings Heat Wave, which, if that's the case, then that's just one less move that Zapdos has in its arsenal. Or one less move availability that Zapdos has. We have our dedicated lead in Ogerpon this week, making the debut, Choice Banded. Once we Terra, nothing on the team outside of a physically defensive Zapdos Max Fizz Death can switch into our Ogerpon, it's Ivy Cudgel, and then take another one. So the plan for this week is hopefully my opponent leads Samurott. We Terra turn 1 because we can only be grass. We U-turn on the Samurott, which brings it down to its sash. It brings it down to, unless it's super bulky, it brings it down within Rocky Helmet range. Or potentially kills it, right straight off rip. And then we go out into the Comfey to take the Ceaseless Edge Rocky Helmet damage so that spikes never actually go up in this matchup. That's the most ideal turn 1 that we can hope for. But I think no matter what, Ogerpon is hitting U-turn on turn 1, and that's what we're just going to go for. And then last but certainly not least is Rotom Wash with the leftovers. Hydro Pump and Volt Switch just for dual stab and pivoting out. Will-O-Wisp is there to burn either like the Calyrex, the Samurott, Tyranitar, the Excadrill. We do take a Jolly Life Orb Terra Blast Grass from Excadrill. As long as it doesn't crit us like it did in Mox. And then Sunny Day is there so that we can change the weather and just get rid of the sand so that Excadrill can't abuse it. That's the team that we're rocking with for week 1. We're going to try to get connected here with Fist here shortly and get the match on the way, guys. Alright, we are trying to get connected here with our opponent. He did let us know that it is going to be Terra Grass Excadrill, which is kind of what I expected. And it's what I faced in my mocks. And we go 6 for 6. Love to see it, but hate to see it at the same time, because that means that the scariest things that are present are in fact there. So we see Grass, Excadrill, Dragapult, Zapdos, Tyranitar, Samurott, Hisui, and Calyrex Ice Rider. All right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick with what I said in my team builder, and that I am going to lead Ogerpon, Terra turn 1, and go from there. We said good luck, have fun in the chat, and we are getting this battle on the way. Alright, I also have to remember that I am recording this for my opponent because they are without their computer currently, so I have to remember to send that to them afterwards. Just things for me to remember, gotta say them out loud or else I'm gonna forget. And we do see Razor's Edge, the Zapdos, as our first thing, and it's pressure. It's pressure. Okay, that's good for us because now we don't have to worry about being staticked. So I'm just going to Terra Grass and U-turn, baby. It's not. This is pressure Zapdos. Pressure. I want to say that that's a misgen for sure. I don't see why you would bring pressure Zapdos over static Zapdos to this matchup. Let's just proc that embody aspect. Go ahead, U-turn. That looks like it's going to be max defense. And I'm just going to go out into Iron Treads here. If that is max defense, let's just say bold, yeah. No thanks. That did, what, 15-ish%? So it's looks like it's max defense, but maybe not bold. What, 5, 10, yeah. Yeah, that could be it. Or just some defense, maybe. He wants to, I think he wants to get out of here. I'm gonna make a gutsy call and just go straight for an Earthquake in front of this Zapdos. Okay, so we do see that we're faster than it too, which is good news, and he does pack the Heat Wave. So we see Volt, Heat Wave, and he now sees that we are leftovers. Good news, good news. Okay, so that Volt switch didn't... It took us down, not to 192, but let's see. Can we get any information off of that? Iron Treads down to 192. So we'll say we went up 6%, so we were down at 49%. Yeah, that's just a typical bulky Zapdos set right there. We're gonna switch out into... Let's just go straight out into Rotom here. If my opponent wants to stay in and go for another Heat Wave, then we can take that. If not, they can more than welcome to Volt Switch. Yep, we take that pretty easily. As he's going to see another leftovers pop off. I'm just going to... I'm gonna Volt Switch. I know that I'm slower than this Zapdos. He has to come in with Excadrill to block my switch, and then Ogerpon just comes in and does damage to pretty much anything that he wants to bring in. He is going to Volt Switch first. That's fine. If he wants to go out into Excadrill here, be my guest. AC 130 above, that's gonna be the Dragapult. Okay, so yeah, that looks like it did about like standard like no bulk Dragapult. So Ogerpon can easily come in here and just hit knockoff on anything that wants to come in. We are faster than a Dragapult unless it is Scarf. It's sitting at about 80%, which would mean it'd be a max roll for Ivy Cudgel right now, assuming no physical bulk. Let's just knock off something's item. He's Colbur Berry. I don't think that might save him. Yeah, okay, he has a little bit of bulk. Thunder Wave. Ooh, good tech. So we do see T-Wave. And from here, I think I can just fairly easily go for let's see, we are paralyzed, right? This Hex is going to be doing a decent chunk of damage. I'm gonna call it and go out into Nightmare here. Darkrai's coming in. Hex, yeah. So we should take this easily. I don't want to take that extra damage. And here he could freely go for a Thunder Wave. I don't want to get my Nightmare paralyzed, so I'll just go out into Treads. So we have to remember that we are paralyzed. He has Hex. Oh, he goes straight for the Draco Meteor. Okay. That is fine, I think, because now he's sitting at -2. I think I can go back out into Astaroth here. As he maybe wants to go for a Will-O-Wisp. As he goes for Hex. Good plays, okay. But we are going to take a little bit less damage off of that. We'll just U-turn out because this should pick up the kill. See, okay. So, and his last move was U-turn. So T-Wave, Hex, Draco, U-turn. Do we see Zapdos here? And we know that he just wants to get damage off on Darkrai. So we can just Sucker Punch it next time. And be fine. Razor's Edge is the Zapdos, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna go out into Cervantes here and probably just opt for a Volt Switch if I had to guess. I mean, Volt Switch kills the Dragapult, gives us a free swap into... You know what? Let's just Will-O-Wisp. He can go for a Roost. This will whittle down the Zapdos over time. As long as we hit, yep. And we're still getting leftovers recovery back. Slow Volt Switch is fine. Actually, I'll go out into Iron Tread to try to get some leftovers recovery back on my prediction on his Volt Switch. So we did see the Roost. Discharge, okay, that's fine too. Probably wants to go for, so we've seen its full moveset, Discharge. So no Hurricane. Discharge into Rotom isn't going to be doing too much, but I don't know if it's damage that we want to take. Let's do it. He can try to play around here. I know I'm playing relatively... I'm not making any forward progress, but I don't think neither is my opponent. There we go, okay. I am not willing to give him Iron Treads for free right now. I can Volt Switch here. If he wants to go out. Okay, Discharge, yeah. So, question is Ogerpon faster than Zapdos while paralyzed? And the answer is no. I can let's go into Darkrai here and fire off a Dark Pulse, I think. It looks like it should be range. Based on the damage that we've been doing with everything else, that looks like it should be range. Dark Pulse will kill the Dragapult. It will do a lot of damage to Calyrex. He has to bring in Tyranitar here, and I'm not willing to make that prediction. Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to do anything to Tyranitar. Mount Munch. Yeah, okay. But we should be able to see... That did about 15, 10%? 10% probably. No, 15%. That's normal. You know what? Ball out, let's do it. Roll with it. We're gonna Focus Blast here. Focus Blast should pick up the kill on this. Okay, we do hit it, and he's not Choffle. And Darkrai's picking up a kill on the Tyranitar. Perfect. Excadrill should come out here. Yep, there goes Monty Mole. Wait, do we see Sandrush? We don't see Mold Breaker. Okay. Realistically, it's not doing anything here. I am just gonna go out into Rotom. We know that our opponent is Terra Grass. And I'm expecting them to just be able to pick up this kill here. Dragapult's so low that I'm not worried about it. Comfey can pick it off. Darkrai can pick it off. Ogerpon's basically dead weight right now, unfortunately. Okay, so we do get the Earthquake. He is going to Terra Grass here, which is fine. And he's going to go for the Terra Grass, or Terra Blast Terra Grass, I would assume. I mean, he could kill us right now, I think, because we're sitting. If he has Poison Jab, he could kill us. If he has Rock Slide, he could also kill us. Iron Head won't kill from this range. Let's see, two turns of Sandstorm left, assuming that I'm gonna Sunny Day on the off chance that he doesn't. I mean, he has to Terra Blast here, and I think that Ogerpon is too low. But I'm fine giving this Excadrill the Samurott. Oh, it goes for Rock Slide. Okay. Oh, and we live it. No flinch. Yes, we're getting rid of the Sand, baby. Sand's gone for the remainder of the match. Hell yeah. That's what we like to see. So we've seen Rock Slide and EQ. I'm guessing he doesn't have Terra Blast, which is absolutely insane. Okay. So, do we preserve? I think we do. I think we preserve Rotom here. I don't know if he was predicting me to switch out into Ho-Oh. Rock Slide, okay, so he doesn't have Terra Blast Grass, which is insane to me. Iron Treads. He dies to an Earthquake here. He has to switch out into Zapdos. So Zapdos against my Iron Treads. I'm gonna Iron Defense here and see if he goes out into Zapdos. AC 130. Okay, that's fine. I'm not worried. I could have easily taken this thing out, but I'm not too worried. I can also just go out into Rotom here and sack it off. Which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this Dragapult to kill. Dragapult's going to pick up a kill on Rotom, but Rotom did absolutely splendidly here. So Rotom goes down. Dragapult is in. I am going to swap into Comfey here against this Dragapult. He knows that I kill. So I think what I do is I just U-turn out. U-turning on the Dragapult would kill it. Okay, yeah. Goes into Zapdos, I would assume, or maybe the Mole. Monty Mole, yeah. Big damage. Oh, that was a crit. I'm not too sad about that, to be honest with you. I don't think it mattered in the grand scheme of things. I am just going to go out here into Ho-Oh. Sunlight faded, no worries. And we can fire off a big Sacred Fire here. Keeping Iron Treads around is absolutely key because that Samurott still has a Ceaseless Edge that it can go for. And we really don't want those spikes up for pretty much for Comfey and Darkrai, right? I wish I would have gotten Ho-Oh in at least a turn earlier because the Sun boosted Sacred Fire would have absolutely wrecked. Ho-Oh is going to pick up its first kill of the season against the Excadrill. We were able to mitigate that Excadrill, and it's absolutely fantastic. Excadrill goes down. Here comes Samurott. Okay. I mean, I just go out into Comfey here, right? You can't. And I just, yeah, I go out into Comfey here. If he goes for, if he goes for like Razor Shell, that's best case scenario. Aqua Cutter is the worst case because then he's not taking Rocky Helmet damage. Razor Shell, okay, but he misses. Big. That one is big, but that's the risk that you run with running Razor Shell, right? So let's just Draining Kiss because we can. Looks like we're going for a Calyrex endgame, which I'm just going to Seed. Honestly, if I'm him, I sacrifice the Ogerpon. Or not Ogre, the Dragapult right now. I don't think Dragapult's not going to do anything versus Darkrai or Comfey. He could go for a Ceaseless Edge, but he might be locked into Razor Shell. We do get the Iron, or the Draining Kiss off. Oh, that's Assault Vest. No, it's not. He's Sword Stance. Okay. So you're just like, are you bulky? Sword Stance +2. Because that did 25, 30, 35. Yeah, you're like max HP, so you're probably no speed. I'm gonna Draining Kiss again. Put it in range at least. Razor Shell comes off. Are you adamant? You're adamant, okay. That's fine. Razor Shell doesn't make contact either. Pompe goes down to Samurott. Comfey. Okay, so Darkrai, Sucker Punch not doing enough. Ho-Oh is faster. So is... Do you have Aqua Jet though? Right? That's the question. Aqua Jet at +2. It's not killing Ho-Oh. I don't think. It's doing a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's not killing. I think here... Earthquake is the safest play. Sucker Punch, okay. Ooh, the crit! Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Does that actually... That blows, dude. That absolutely blows. Okay. Darkrai. We're sitting at 189. What is Iron Treads? Iron Treads doesn't even want to take a Sucker Punch, damn. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. He has to go for Sucker Punch, so I'm going to Sucker Punch him. Does he go for Sucker Punch as well? Yes! Yes! Come at me. Let's get Ho-Oh off the layout. Sucker Punch again. Yes! Cool. Okay. Threat mitigated, I guess, as Darkrai picks up a kill against... That was a very threatening Samurott right there. We had to play around it perfectly. On Dragapult, I go out and I just sack off Ogerpon. Zapdos, I stay in and I click Dark Pulse. And Calyrex, Ice, I Dark Pulse, I think. I think that's what I have to do. Dragapult, not killing it earlier is actually, it might actually come back to bite me. He's gonna T-Wave here. I'm gonna swap out into Iron Treads here. Darkrai is endgame now. And I can't let it get slower than Zapdos. Yeah. Iron Treads against Dragapult. Draco. Let's just say you're 252 modest. Draco's not going to kill. So I can Earthquake here. Okay, he's just going to use Hex, okay. That's fine. Okay, so we killed the Dragapult, which is fantastic. Ogerpon into Zapdos. This Zapdos has Discharge, not Hurricane. I'm assuming that's what he's going. I know he's going out into this thing. Okay. Dragapult goes down. Let's see, Calyrex, Ice into Iron Treads. If we can get +2 defense. Now I'm starting to wish I was like a defensive version and not a Spidef version. I think we have to Iron Defense here and hope that he's gonna maybe go for a Trick Room. Yep, okay. That may have put us out of range. Of a Glacial Lance. May have. I think Calyrex can pick it up here, or clean up here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's gonna be game. Darkrai. Yeah, I think that's gonna be game, unfortunately. Damn it! I thought I had that. I don't think attacking there was the play, regardless. I think not getting rid of the Dragapult sooner was the... Whenever I like... I'd have to watch it back to see what I did wrong. Let's see. Just let me think. Trick Room had, yeah, it's got too many turns left. I can't do anything. I lost. In spite of that. Ogerpon. You're not gonna outslow this thing. Yeah. That is rather unfortunate, especially because you are Terran. I'm just gonna give him my Ogerpon. I mean, there's no out for me here, so I'm just gonna let it pick up the kill. The last 3 kills. Iron Treads went down. Ogerpon's about to go down. Calyrex is just going to clean. Yep. That is unfortunate, to say the least. Good game to my opponent, though. I can't fault how they play. I don't see how I got out of this, because I think he just positioned well in the end. And the Samurott set, the bulky Samurott, definitely threw me off as well. Yeah, if I had Protect here, that'd be fantastic. Sucker Punch. Yeah, it only does 25%. Because he's so physically defensive, it's unfortunate. like I said in the beginning, the matchup was not in our favor. I do think that we played it decently well. I think the Ogerpon getting paralyzed in the beginning by the Dragapult definitely hindered us the rest of the game, because in my mocks, Ogerpon just went in, but it also never got paralyzed, right? Because then it had the speed and was able just to hit things super hard. Yeah, that is super unfortunate. I'm gonna have to go back and watch to see who picked up all the kills, because I'm missing one. But yeah, good game to my opponent. I wish them the best of luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we can bounce back for week 2, because I really didn't like that. We did make some transactions for week 2, and hopefully those transactions will help us better in the end game, I guess. With that, we are starting yet another season 0-1. It's how we do things, guys, around here. You know it. My name is Nick. I also go by Golden Guy, and I'm your coach of the Philadelphia Pincers, and I'm always proud to be here, guys. Peace.